Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hey, hey, hey. We got him locked in. He's in the building.
I think I gotta figure it out. Clicking through a bunch of couple things. So that doesn't make sense. Clicking through a couple things.
Yeah. Hey, man. Glad you found a spot.
Yeah, likewise. Hey, is there a mute button just in case something stupid happens?
You know what? I don't even know.
We're gonna let's just pretend. Let's just hope we don't need it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's hope for
I think
that.
we'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Shoot. I don't even. I don't. I forget if I mentioned it. Just try not to move around too much. And we'll be good because the thing with this it'll pick up a lot of background noise and stuff. So um,
Gotcha.
yes, yes, yes. Well, anyways, we'll get I'll give you a proper intro and everything. So first things first, you're tuning in to Where's My Damn Podcast. That's right, y'all. Thank you to everyone out there that's listening. Appreciate that. Be sure to share the podcast, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Review it, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Hit on it, whatever. Piss on it, whatever. It's whatever. Just do it. Yes, I am your host, the host with the most, Elvin Maglinte. I got a very special guest online, y'all. Yeah, yeah. This guy is a stand-up comedian. Um, it, man, he's like one of the hardest working comedian on Zoom comedy right now. He's everywhere, all over the place, man. He's doing shows left and right. He runs a Facebook group called Displaced Comedians. Be sure to hit that face group up, join. It's a lot of fun. You can find a lot of things on there as far as what Zoom mics are available, and yeah, everyone's pretty much helpful, and they'll lead you in the right direction. But enough of all that nonsense. Let's get into it. I got my fellow comedian on the line, the one and only Niko Lukoff.
Hey, Elvin. Thanks, man. Thank you so much for such a kind introduction. Appreciate it.
Man, you're welcome. No problem. You deserve it, brother. Like I said, man, you're all over the place, bro. Like you're doing Zoom comedy left and right. I mean, my God, like how do you find time?
I'm taking advantage, man. I really feel like we got a cheat code right now, and I'm just gonna exploit the heck out of it till further notice.
Yeah, you
Uh,
know what? I totally agree with you 100%. It I mean, this is a time right now. Take it, like you said, take advantage of it. Like when I first got into it, obviously I was like a little suspect in the beginning. Wasn't sure what it was all about, but once I hit the ground running and just got used to everything, man, it's been awesome
yeah,
experience.
dude, you're doing you. It's been fun seeing you. It's fun meeting so many people, and then I'll see you. Then I'll do some zooms, and I'll see you for a little while, and see you again, and just like with everybody, and just seeing everybody work on their stuff and grow as comedians and having fun and just kind of getting it dialed in and having a good time. It's just too convenient right now. There's right now I got like 170 Zoom mics on that list and displaced comedians a
Hmm.
week.
Yeah.
And while probably not all, and I'm sure not all of them are active, but a lot are. And pretty much, if you want to go try telling jokes, there's someone who's gonna at least uh, be present, whether they're paying attention or not. It's a different story, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, there it is, y'all. Go check that out. All the information is there. Man, if you have any questions, I mean, Nico can, like I said, help you out, or the other comedians can help you out. I mean, it's a fun group. Yeah, be sure to do that. Well, Nico, man, first things first. How's everything with you?
doing pretty good, man. I appreciate it. It's first. I feel like I'm gonna jinx something, but on the fifth day of the year's so far going pretty good over here. My kids are doing Zoom school, and I
Yeah,
work from home, and I'm just here with my wife and kids, and popping out in the grass to tell jokes when I can.
there you go, man. So we'll just jump around. There's I mean, obviously I'll have some comedy questions and stuff, but there's really no like strict structure or whatever. So we'll
Cool.
just cover different topics and stuff. It's pretty loose out here. So yeah.
Sounds good.
So how did get it how did it get started for you in comedy? Break that down for us.
Yeah, so I've always just kind of been a annoying smartass, and and for a couple of years, I was just playing with the idea of getting on stage and telling jokes. And I'd gone back and looked. It was actually longer than I had thought that I was like thinking up bits and recording on my phone and sending them to a couple of very kind friends that very politely didn't shit on me, but also, we're honest with me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
We're probably more supportive than I deserve. But here's a rambling of 4 minutes with maybe a punch at the end. I was just like thinking out, like, okay, I think they're about 3 or 4 minute sets you normally do to open mics, and I looked it up a little bit. And I was like, some point I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna work on some stuff, and at some point I'm gonna get on a stage and try it. And I
Hmm.
just had that thought for a few years, and then I was traveling for work, and so I live in Nampa, Idaho. It's near Boise, Idaho.
Hmm.
And for work, I'm in sales, and the Northwest is my region. So I was up in Portland, and I just decided this one day after work when I was wrapping stuff up, I'm like, you know what, tonight, if I can find somewhere that'll let me tell jokes on stage or what I think are jokes, I'm going to do it. So I just Googled, on my phone. I was having dinner. I was like, all right, this place called Helium. And I was like, well, I don't know
Hmm.
what a helium is, but like, yeah, I'm in Portland. I'm like, comedy open mic. I'm like, oh shit. So, I mean, I do
Yeah,
know now, but at the time I was like, okay, there's this place called Helium.
yeah.
Their website said, you could do 3 to 5 minutes. And I was like, that's cool. Then I went to my hotel room and just prepared what I thought was 5 minutes of comedy. And by prepared, I don't mean actually writing down, of course, because that would be smart. I just recited
Yeah.
stuff that I kind of thought I knew how to repeat looking in a mirror,
Hmm.
and did that till I thought I had about that much time anyway. So then I was like, okay, here's a couple little stories that I want to tell. And then, that 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And then I took a lift to the club, and then like I was just stressing and freaking out the whole time. That the poor Lyft driver had to like listen to pretty much my whole set a couple of times in different ways. So I'm just
I
rambling and just talking.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And they were being very supportive. And then like pulled up, I'm like, oh crap. They're like, do you want me to like drive around the block? I'm like, no, I'm not paying you more money for my wussy attitude. No, I didn't say that. They were really cool.
Yeah.
But then I went up, and the club, there's stairs to go up right when you get into it. Somehow that just kind of adds to just the experience. Walking up the stairs, and like,
Right.
where do I sign up? And they showed me where to sign up at this window, and I went up in line, and there's a lot of names on this list. And I think we might have even been like on like the back of the page or something. But there were, the side that I was writing on, there weren't any lines left, and everybody's trying to get up at Helium, their open mic. And I remember on their website it said, put down that you're new. And then I had looked at badslava.com. I think I had found that site before then, maybe, and I was reading about it. You know what? No, I hadn't found that one yet, but I did use that for other mics. Anyway, so
Hmm.
I just remember seeing on their website, put down that you're from out of town or that you're new or whatever. If you are, and you have a better likelihood of going up. So I kind of was a little worried. I thought maybe I shouldn't do that because I was trying to kind of wuss out a little bit, but I didn't. I put down, hey, I'm new, first
Yeah.
time doing comedy or trying this out. And then, I'm visiting here from Idaho. So
Yeah.
then, waited a little while, went outside, kind of paced back and forth, rehearsing what I was going to say. And then finally it's time to check the list. Then I went up and I couldn't find the list. Like they said, hey, it's going to be out at the bar. And I, for some reason, thought there's going to be like in a bright area or somewhere, like somewhere really obvious. And there's two bars too. And I'm running around like an idiot. And then I
What is it?
finally,
It was a dimly lit area or
oh
something?
yeah, it's the darkest corner of this bar. Just, I pictured like on a wall for some reason, but it was laying down this corner of this bar, and everyone's kind of like huddling over it, kind of acting cool and kind of like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
acting excited and surprised and all that stuff. So I'm looking at the list and I see my name. I'm like, oh crap, I'm pretty, close to the top of the list. But I saw three and I was like, okay, I'm probably third, which I was. But then I saw
Hmm.
a bunch of threes and it was 3 minutes. And I was like, oh crap, I had
Ah.
5 minutes. Now I don't know how to do 3 minutes, which really I didn't have any of those times of comedy, but I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been talking to my wife about doing this at some point. I didn't tell her that I was doing this tonight. So I called my wife and I'm like, all right, honey, which story has to go? Crackhead or work story? Like, what's funnier? And crackhead sounds funnier, but it wasn't. She was like,
Uh-huh.
work story. I'm like, you're right. This is what's going on. I'm going to do a set and I'm going to go pace back and forth outside, like while I'm rehearsing this, try to nail this 3 minutes thing.
Yeah.
And then in the job that I have, I sell equipment to different businesses, some of them breweries, and some of the customers that I met that day are clients of ours that actually are distributors of ours. They sell other equipment to breweries, and they'll sell our equipment with them. So I was gonna connect with these guys then in the evening and hang out and grab some beers. So I call them up. I just sent them a text. I was like, hey, this is where I'm gonna be. If you guys want to get some dinner, grab some beers, this is what's going on. And then they were both like, yeah, I'll definitely come check it out. And then like they get there and I'm pacing outside. I'm like, by the way, go sit down, get a table, get some drinks. I'm going to do stand up for the first time ever. And you're going to watch. And I had just met them that day.
Nice. Oh wow.
Yeah. I know you're not supposed to
Surprise.
do. Yeah. I knew it was going to be cool. Like I knew they were cool with it. It was either going to be,
Yeah.
we were going to have an experience and bond no matter what.
Right.
And
Right.
So we went in and I went up and I was, freaking out and I did my set and it, Helium has a very good audience, very reactive. They're
Mm-hmm.
there. They want comedy. They paid a few bucks to get in and they committed to some, menu items and their dates and stuff. So it
Yeah.
went actually pretty well. Like I got laughs, felt just this incredible rush of adrenaline. Like I didn't, it was amazing. I mean, you've felt that hit. It's just crazy
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
first one, and I was so fortunate to have that first one at like a legit place. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and I think there's probably about 75 people there. So, and then after the show, after the mic, whatever, the last comedian who went up, Adam Posse, who I hadn't
Mm-hmm.
seen before, because I just hadn't gone out and seen a bunch of comedy in the area. He had just won Portland's Funniest like a few days before his competition, so he
Mm.
was
Yeah.
he was closing out the mic, and I went up to him at the bar and I said hi to him, and commented on his set, and he talks about being Samoan, and I showed him a tattoo about because I lived in Samoa for a little while, and he's like, oh man,
Mm.
I've never even been to Samoa. You're more Samoa than me, dude. We were just chuckled, and he was just super cool and kind. And then he's like, hey, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later. I didn't expect to ever see him again, and I totally understood that. But then he came back and he's like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys want to go to another mic? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh crap. So ended up going to another mic, not prepared at all. Totally ate shit for like 5 minutes or so, I think it was.
Was that the same night?
That was the same night, yeah. So it was right after.
Wow.
So I had
Nice.
just, I
Yeah.
just done my thing. I have my head of the adrenaline and everything. So then I'm throwing back beers and eating. And then he's like, "You want to go to another mic?" I'm like, I'm not going to turn down this experience." But
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of our other comics are going here." And this was a bar called Lamp that's known for just having, being a pretty tough, place.
Mm-hmm.
But really good comedians going up there. Usually it's just, a core group of the comics that were just up at Helium and some others. It
Yeah.
seems like will be there, and a couple of drunk people at the bar. And then afterwards, he invited me to hang out at his house where like all the comedians, a bunch of comedians hung out and drank to the wee hours. So I went over there and hung out for a little
Yeah.
while before I went to my hotel. And I was like, that was one of the best experiences in my entire life. And like, I'm just gonna obviously experiences since then haven't been that exactly the same. I was just very fortunate on how that went. A lot. It's
Wow.
been a lot of
You got
shit.
you kind of just got like right into it, like initiation style. Like all
Yeah,
right, first mic and then second mic, and you know what? What's cool? Let's hang out at the comics house
yeah. I was
afterwards.
like, this is crazy. Like, this is from a movie. Like, this doesn't get like
Yeah.
on what like I know most first experiences are not like that. I'm super fortunate and very grateful for it being
No,
my
no, it's
experience.
not. Yeah.
Since then, I've had
That's
the other
that's
experiences of you go and just eat shit to silence and then sit in the corner and cry and die inside while you question everything
yeah.
about your
And
life. That's been
yeah.
quite a few times.
Wow. So no, that's an amazing story in itself. That's awesome right there. Yeah, because normally, like, okay, when you go up, you do your first mic, and then Either you do well or bomb, you end up like either coming back the following week, depending where the mic is at, the open mic, or a couple days later, and kind of repeat the process. But yeah, man, you just went in there like Kawabunga style or
Y-
something.
that perspective is good to hear too about the going back the next week. Because here's the thing that I kind of feel like it's the cheater way too. What I did is I only did mics when I traveled. That's kind of what I just when I'm
Hmm.
home with my family, wife and kids. Like this is what I'm doing is I'm with my family here. But then when I was
Yeah.
when I be in a different town or something, I could either like hang out in my hotel room or find mics to go to. And
Right.
I'm a
Right.
pretty extroverted extrovert, so I just love being out there and that's just how I have a good time. And After COVID and everything, I do intend to do some live stuff in town here, but that also made it so I was very inconsistent. So like there might be months where I only went up once in 2 or 3 weeks, or I might go three
Hmm.
or four times in 1 week. And it also made it so I sort of dip my toe into different scenes, but didn't really get
Hmm.
immersed to the level where like I'm really talking to people and having strong conversations about tags and like helping each other and things like that. Like the
True.
kinds of
True.
things that we're able
Yeah.
to do on Zoom so easily I just wasn't
Yeah.
really doing because I wasn't like this is my home scene, like this is where I am all the time. I hadn't really done that.
Yeah. 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 Man, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless, you're able to get out there and just experience, like you said, you do traveling, right? And then, so you're at least getting out there as much as you can. But but like so officially, how many years are you into comedy?
Dude, I just hit a year in August. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
I'm pretty
all
new.
right.
I started August 2019. I did,
Mm-hmm.
if I counted right, I did 27 mics before everything shut down.
Yeah,
And then that's
yeah.
when I went like, how do I keep doing this? Because even
Mm.
when I was home, you know, I would spend some time during the week just at night, just hang out in my garage and just try to work on stuff anyway, talking on my phone and working on bits and working on what I was going to do the next time I traveled and got up to a mic. And I was like,
Right.
I wish there was a way that I could do this, but, have some kind of audience reaction and figure out what works, what doesn't. And I looked at Twitch a little bit. I didn't really figure it out. I didn't really dive into other technologies or anything like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
some dude eats a bat or whatever. And now we're just all, that's just what we do now.
At least cook the bat, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on, come on now. That was my goodness. Anyway, you know what? Yeah, that leads me to my next question.
Sure.
So you got, you had 20 something mics in or 30, and then the whole COVID thing hit. Um, when did you start doing the whole Zoom thing, and then kind of I guess a follow up to that is how did you put the whole displaced comedians face group? Let's
Yeah.
kind of
So
cover those two.
there was about a month from the time that I did my last mic. That was in Tacoma, Washington, at Tacoma Comedy Club. That was really fun. Um, that there's about a month from that day to when I decided I was going to start this group. Somewhere in between, I did my first Zoom mic. Is probably a couple of weeks into COVID. I think 2 or 3 weeks in between those. I got that information somewhere because Rachel Rothenberg, who does the
Yeah,
Pandemic,
yeah.
before
Hmm.
it had, I keep forgetting what it was called beforehand, but I I saw that one of the comedians that I knew, Carol Freeman, who's really cool, very kind, funny, supportive comedian in the Seattle area, that I'd gone up and met in Seattle and Tacoma doing mics. I saw that she was doing a Zoom mic, and I knew that people were doing them. And I'm like, I got to figure this out. I want to at least watch. And I was like, oh, she's
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
one. I can at least watch somebody that I know, so I can see. I know they do well live. Like, how's it going to go? Not that I thought she would do bad. I just mean like, I want to see how reactions are on this and just kind of get a feel for it,
Yeah.
and not just
Right,
be a
right.
bunch of random people, which was cool seeing a bunch of random people who a lot of them are now, I consider friends. And she did her set and did great, and she had a pretty good setup. But I was like, man, I gotta do this. but I don't know what angle of my garage I can show people. This was like my first thing. I was like, oh man, I gotta, between cleaning this up or just turning in the camera or whatever. And I didn't have a dedicated webcam, so I used my laptop with built-in mic and webcam. Which now I look back at that, and it was just such bad quality in comparison. Um, and I signed up and I did a 5-minute set. It was stuff that I had done lives, which means it didn't really go great. But I'm also a brand new open micer, like whatever, I just did it. But I was like, I
Right.
got to figure this out. And I didn't get a good rush out of it either. Like I didn't feel great after it. It wasn't like, oh man, that was the hit again, I'm going to keep doing it. It was like, ah,
Hmm.
okay, I'm going to do this. It's going to get better. But no matter what, however long this takes, because I'm like, I have no idea. I was like, it's going to be a long time till live real stuff is safe and happening. And it has been.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not going to wear masks and do whatever we need to do to stop. Like, this is going to be bad for a long time. And
Hmm.
I had this opportunity to take advantage of having this time. So I worked on some other material and did it again. And then I just, I was in these different regional Facebook groups because I mentioned badslava.com before. That's where I'd go when I would visit different areas after Portland, like once I figured out that site, so I can kind of zone in on which mics to go to, because he put some good, really helpful reviews on a bunch of mics. But a lot of them are pretty old, so a lot of them aren't active anymore. So then I would join the Facebook groups of those regions that I would go to. So then I'd be able
Yeah.
to see, oh, this comedian over here is doing a Zoom mic. The one over here is doing a Zoom mic. And there's like 4 or 5. I'm like, I got to keep all 4 or 5 of these straight, which is crazy now because you could do 4 or 5 sets a night, without a whole lot of stress right now if you want to.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Easy. You could do that
oh, yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot. I mean, a lot of them are overlapping, but I looked at Monday right now. There's 30. I'm sure some are not running, but there's 30 I've got on the list. So even if half are running, that's a bunch.
Yeah. 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 That's a
So
bunch already. Yeah.
so yeah, so I was like, I got to keep this organized, and I was thinking like, I don't see a list anywhere, and the list that I saw out there like did not seem like there was much on them, or it didn't seem very engaging. And not to crap on anybody who
Hmm.
was already working on this kind of stuff, because I know people were. I just mean it just wasn't what I wanted, and I knew that I
Yeah.
wanted a way to encourage people to bring information and to also build a bit of a community to just talk, chat with people and help with best practices and stuff. But it really started of just, I don't want to just have a website that's a list that I hope people submit stuff to, because I didn't think that was going to get any action. The people that were doing that weren't getting a lot of response,
Hmm.
to that. So
Yeah.
I was like, this has got to be active. I got to seek this information. I'm going to consolidate it. I'm going to put it in one spot and just not try to hoard information, but I wanted people to join the group to get the information, because I want to encourage that behavior of growth and people wanting to, bring info. Because that's how I was learning about a lot
And
of it too.
sometimes he'll police people
What's
too.
that?
And sometimes you'll police people too as
Yeah,
well.
it's
He'll
come to that.
he'll lay down the hammer
Yeah,
down.
it's definitely come to that for sure. But in the beginning, it wasn't so much that. It was just getting, I was interrogating people like, hey, how long are sets? Like, how do you sign up for your mic? I know you have a Facebook page, but it doesn't tell you anything. How do you get to this? And
Yeah.
some of them were like, why is this dude talking to me? Like, they didn't say that, but I kind of got that vibe from some people, like, but
Right.
then they realize, hey, there's value to what we're doing here. And now it's to the point where people are coming to the group to like share their information. I still seek them out in different groups. And if I see someone post somewhere that something I'm not aware of, I'm like, hey, can we get your information here to put it in this spot? And then I made it. I don't recall when you joined the group, Elvin, but at one point it was just a one long announcement post. It wasn't even a Google sheet. It was just
Hmm.
a bunch of typed in information that was just way too much to edit quickly, and such a pain in the ass for people to look at.
Yeah.
So then I did the Google Sheets and worked on that, and then got a domain recently because it was easier than telling people, go here and copy this link or whatever. And we're
Yeah.
about to
Yeah.
we'll hit 5,000 members either tonight or tomorrow. And
That's what I was just thinking about that. Like, the group is growing, and I wasn't sure the
yeah,
exact numbers, but no,
it's
that's awesome.
growing. And
Yeah.
what's scary about it too is like it would grow faster if I just like when I started. Honestly, if you requested a join, you were in, because I just thought it was people who knew
Hmm.
somebody who knew somebody. Because like, why would you else would you know about this group? And then it got to the point, and
Yeah.
somewhere in the low thousands, I think, 1 or 2,000, 30, somewhere around there, Facebook started recommending it to more people. So I'm like, okay, then I put questions to join the group, and I need to revamp that to make it more apparent that what the purpose of the group is, and kind of redefine what that is. And I'll take this opportunity on your
Yeah, yeah.
podcast or no to just kind of announce. I don't know when this is going to drop, but uh, I did have
Oh
some
yeah, definitely,
admins that I
definitely.
added a
Go
while
ahead.
back. I did a very poor job of setting expectations, and I changed back to just having me run it. But I can't I can't do it justice myself. Full-time job, family. I'm going to make wrong decisions. I need more eyes. And as hard as it has
Yeah.
been to be like, I don't want someone running it who might make a decision that I wouldn't make, but that's we're bigger than that now. And so I brought on I asked three people that I trust and in line with their ethos, and I see as having good perspectives and also holding me accountable on my own shit when I need to be told
Yeah.
something. So
Right.
Brooke Barcel, Chip Jones, and Tara Christian Wiener right now are the three moderators of Displaced Comedians. And I haven't,
Solid. That's solid.
yeah.
That's solid
If
people
you've
right
done
there.
any Zooms, you hear those names, and if you have any question as to why I would pick them, then I question your judgment because these are people that are um, are good folks to have on here, and I'm honored that they accepted that role. And we're kind of going through what defining those roles, and we're gonna have some meetings this week to kind of go over some things. But because I haven't even really have any strong established rules, which is ridiculous. It's stupid to have a group this size because my issue is I don't like things always being black and white because a lot of things aren't, in my opinion. I don't want to say you can't do this thing because
Hmm.
if you do it this way, I think it's fine. But if you do it this way, I think it's not. And usually it comes down to just being disrespectful to each other and bullying and being mean to people. And usually that's where I kind of
Yeah.
I feel like I draw the line, but it's not, there's other stuff to look at. And there's people spamming the page too. And part of
Hmm.
that too is uh, not against people, some even doing some of those things because if I don't set the expectations, then they think that that's what you can do. So like, I know that's on me too. So I'm looking forward to the progression and growth and seeing what happens. And even if it was fewer people, it could be half the people in the group. The number of the people in the group is neat, but like it's just about quality and engagement. And a lot of people are moving over to realizing that Zoom is a thing that's helpful and is going to be around for a bit. I think I think it'll
Right.
be
Right.
around
For
forever in some
yeah.
capacity. I think it's going to change, but um, I don't see it going away. I know I'm probably overly optimistic, but that's what I think.
Hmm. Yeah. No. I think I'm in agreement with that in a way, in some sense, because I talked to other comedians as well, and I mean, let's say when things
Yeah,
do open back up, there's I think if you I think there's still some people going to be doing Zoom, and then I think if you put a new wrinkle in there, if you get the right people, like right investors to put money into it, it could be something else. It can become its own down the line. If they just have to, market it properly, um, in some ways, because obviously live comedy is going to be the main. That's
yeah.
the main one. Everyone needs that live interaction. With the audience, and just you know going back to the stage, the actual stage. But I think people still gonna mess with it afterwards. And whether the numbers will decrease or not, but um, I think people will still mess with it because people want to or connect with others that they met
Yeah.
already on Zoom, and keep in touch, that kind of thing, and then they'll run the regular mics, and I
And I
think
think
it'll
that
still
happened too
continue
because
in
like
some
you've
way.
seen a lot of these mics on Zoom, not all, but a lot of them were kind of based around somebody used to do a live mic and now they're not, so they're like, let's do it on Zoom. And a lot of them, they grabbed a few of their colleagues that are comedians in the area, joined in on the Zoom. Most people go like, oh, no one in America wants to do Zoom because they think Zoom, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's the case in most areas, but then you get a few people from every scene, and now we're our own scene, as you've seen. Like we are a comedy scene. Um, and
Yes, I like how Nico said, "I've seen."
yeah,
Yes,
well,
yes.
some people have seen. We've described it to you. I still love the mic we were on, and you were, and she was giving you some shit, the host, and then you said
Yeah.
something, And you're like, I can't see. Like, I'm blind. And she's like, oh my God, I'm such an asshole. You get more time now.
Oh my god, yeah, you
And she
were
was like,
there,
you should have
bro. Like,
started with that. I'm like, yes. And now, you know, I'm not trying to give away your shit, but like, that was in
yeah,
that Zoom, and that was really funny.
yeah, she was actually trying to like kind of check me a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, bitch, like calm your ass down, like, like I can't see." So there's a reason why I'm not. She was actually saying, like, are you reading
Oh
from the
yeah, that's what it
screen?
was. Yeah, that made it better. That was so funny.
Yeah, that's what I was, and then I just lost it. I was like,
That
"Eh,
was
like,
so funny.
calm down."
And she's like, how do I give him the
Oh man, and then that was but like I've done her mic
Yeah.
a few times after that, and then
Oh,
she's
she's
cool,
really
she's not
good.
bad, and it was and it's one of those things where what I'm saying, you kind of had to hold your
Sure.
ground a bit, and then I mean I'm pretty sure she was like she's been doing
Yeah.
it a long time, and it kind of like, hey, I'm not gonna be pushed around, kind of
Yeah,
that,
and
that was
the
kind of
whole
my
vibe of the
attitude,
mic
like, you know
also
what.
was, I think they even said in the beginning, like, you're gonna get a little Raz. I don't know what the term was exactly. You're gonna, we're gonna jab
Yeah,
at you a
yeah,
little bit when you're doing your set. If you're taking a while to get to a
yeah.
punch, we're gonna either it was like a Boston thing, some kind of regional theme, sort of about like it's kind of like
Yeah,
that.
I
So if you're
remember.
telling a story and you're not getting to the point, like someone's gonna be like, they
Yeah,
might say like
yeah,
punchline or something. And as much as I feel bad for the comic who's
yeah,
up when they say that, uh, you know, that's it. And like, yeah, she said something like when I was, she's like, well, now you're going on this long story. I'm like, I don't care. It's got jokes. Like, because I was doing a bunch of like jokes, and then I went into my story set thing that's full of punches, so it's still led. But but I was like, fine, I don't care. Anyway, it was fun, and I enjoy that mic,
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
good.
It was kind of like her approach was almost like a
Yeah,
tough
and I
love kind
felt
of
that.
thing, because
So
I think it was, yeah, it was kind of like, I think she was in the school of some guy that they were talking about, like whatever his name, like uh, there was like a kind of a quote or a slogan, like something of like, oh, it doesn't matter, just be
yeah,
funny or some shit like.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was cool. It was cool. It was a fun experience. But man, so originally you are from
So I actually
Idaho,
grew up in San
or
Jose, California. So that's where I got
okay,
my
yeah,
whole
break
busted
that
selling
down.
weed
Yeah.
stuff. Like that's where I lived, and then I got shipped to these weird ass places for 3 years. And
Hmm.
then when I got out, I was in Oregon, and then I met my wife like right after that. Went to college for a little while in Oregon, and then we just ended up in Idaho. I
Hmm.
had some distant relative kind of stuff I was going to work for that didn't end up working out, but we just stayed here because it was affordable, and it's we were just here.
Yeah. How long
Oh
you
my
been though?
gosh, we were
Yeah.
talking about this the other day. How long ago was 2000? End of two. I think it was end of 2003 that we moved here. So yeah, it's almost 17ish years.
17,
So yeah, we've
18.
been we've been in Idaho for a while, and then we moved back to Oregon for a little while, and then came back. Um, then we've
Hmm.
got 3 kids now that are pretty soon each going to be 5, 11, and 12. And
Nice,
yeah,
nice. Living
yeah,
living the
I'm
life,
pretty
doing Zoom
fortunate. Pretty
comedy.
fortunate because like I knew that I was never gonna be, some. I don't want to even say like I never, I don't, and I don't expect it. I don't know where comedy is gonna take me. I don't know where I'm gonna go in comedy, but I was like, I'm not gonna put in. I saw the level of work, to my understanding, that people who were like the big names put in. Like grinding out every night, like 5, 6,
Hmm.
7 sets in these big cities and stuff. I'm like, that's just never gonna be me. Um, but
Hmm.
now with Zoom, it's like, well, I could do a lot of sets and I can build material. So being able to do that, and I'm sure
Yeah,
not all of it's
yeah.
going to translate live, and it's going to be weird as hell, and it's going to go faster. So I think so, not as long a pauses, which is going to
Hmm.
be really cool. We don't have to wait and hope. Like, did my punch work or did the internet go out? Like, god damn it.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
there a delay?
And there's gonna be eating shit on stage for sure. Where it's gonna be soul sucking and it's gonna be horrible. And there's gonna be times that'll be good, but I'm having fun.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, man. You know what? I've had other comedians on the podcast, and we talked about the kind of this the same thing, and like for me, like you said earlier, I'm trying to take advantage of it, because there's two things, as far as like with Zoom comedy, I'm kind of like taking away from this. It is I get to work on my material, versus if I wasn't doing Zoom comedy, obviously live comedy is few far in between, but like I get to work on my material. It At least I get to do something, and then the
Yeah.
networking aspect as well. Like I mean it's cool, man. Like I like shit, man. I wouldn't have met you, like, if we weren't
Yeah.
if I wasn't doing Zoom comedy or many others, so
You can
it's
go
it's
anywhere in
awesome.
the US and some other countries tomorrow. And well,
Virtually.
let's
Yeah.
say everything was open tomorrow and you're like, tonight, you're like, hey, I'm going to be here. You know somebody there already. Or,
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
very least,
correct.
somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Like we're connecting the dots and the map's
Yeah,
filling out.
yes.
And that's pretty incredible. I think one thing that's going to happen, I hope it's really kind of cool, is if like there are live shows and then like at the end of a live show, like when everyone's already like the room's together, intimate, like all having a good time, going like, hey, we got this special guest from whatever state or whatever, and then zoom that, have them come in,
Yeah.
on a screen or something, and be in the party. i
Yeah.
i don't think i don't think people are going to go and like just watch just Zoom, and maybe I'm wrong, but like I could see
Hmm.
that kind of stuff too, and then being like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another thing I was just thinking of with connecting with people. Like, hey, I'm doing the show here. Let's get Elvin on the screen, and they're like, whatever.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah, yeah. No, I think because I
oh,
had
awesome.
Jackie Pearl on not too long ago, and her and Pete Munoz did like a projector thing, and I believe that might have been like kind of like the first time that
That's
that
cool.
was done or something out. Yeah, out in Eureka. I think the whole I think it was the Savage Henry place. So they did that. They didn't leave the house, so they just projected them
That is
onto a
cool.
screen. So I
Well,
was
and
like,
all those
whoa.
things right there, because like I've been
Yeah.
on
So
Pete's. That's where I met Jackie. Is Pete put me on
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
Woodham Lounge, the Friday night show. I was on there a couple of times.
Hmm.
And the first time I was on with Jackie also. And they're both awesome people. And then Savage Henry, with Paula
Hmm.
out there doing her mic, kind of like based on that, and
Yeah.
that's cool. Were there so there were the human people like at a club, like looking at the screen.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah,
I'm gonna
it
bug
might have
them
been like
about
a
this.
yeah
How'd it go?
club
Do you know?
slash
Like,
bar. Yeah.
did it kind of work?
It was the first time they did it, and they weren't sure how it was gonna go, but I guess from the feedback they said it went better than expected.
Cool.
So
I'm gonna bug them
yeah, take
about that now
take
because I
that
want
for
to
what
know
it
more
is.
about how
Yeah.
that went. Because it's fun because like these stories like, oh, tell me how it was. Tell me how it was. Like I did a live. I actually did a live mic. Do you know Amber Gill? She's out of Portland.
No, no,
Really
no,
cool.
not offhand.
She's really cool. She's a great comedian. She's one of the first people I met in Zoomland, because there's kind of like a Portland scene on Zoom still, where like there's a handful of people that tend to mostly be on the Portland mics and like aren't on a ton of the
Hmm.
other ones, which is kind of cool. I like learning about different scenes, and
Yeah.
that's kind of, I think, from other areas too. That's kind of the case. And but Amber's on a bunch of them.
Yeah.
She I'm not saying that that's good or bad either, like that, to be just on some or whatever, but she's been on a
Hmm.
bunch, and she was doing an outdoor mic. And I had never met her before, and there's a couple of people like Dan Bianco, Michael Phelps, a couple of other comedians that I'm probably blanking their names on, that I met there, who I'd done Zooms with and hadn't met in real life. And I was doing a work trip where I wasn't like going to a meeting with a lot of people, but still did a little bit of travel, and did our outdoor mic. And it
Hmm.
was weird and it was fun. I screwed up a lot because I was messing up on my timing, because I was doing a thing where at the end of a bit I
Hmm.
was trying to eat a smushed cupcake at the end of my bit, So my
Oh,
bag,
okay.
it was smashed in my
Yeah.
bag in my pocket. This is all bad ideas. I should have just done something simple. And then I was starting my time at the wrong time because I wanted to have a timer go off to tell me when it was time to do that. And she was setting a time at a
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I'm saying time way too many times because music was playing. All these factors are screwed up. But like the things that I delivered properly and like that I said the right way, uh, worked pretty well.
Right.
I felt, and it was really
Mhm.
fun. And it was like that was the only one time I've done that since the pandemic, and uh, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's that's what it is. It's all about I, I'm still like practically new in the game as well. I mean, I'm a little over 2 years. It'll be 3 years this year, but as far as like you talked about the timing and stuff like that. I'm still working that out as well, and that's kind of like the beauty of it. With this whole comedy thing. Just kind of just trying new things, trying to find your voice, as they say as
Yeah.
well. Like so and it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I don't know if you know this, Nico. Like I started late, but they say there's really no age in comedy. I started when I was 41. I'm gonna be 44 in
Nice.
like in a week or so here. So yeah, so and yeah, like and thinking back, like I was like, man, like I should
Right?
have
Like
started a
how
little bit
good.
earlier, but
I started. I mean, I'm 38 right
yeah.
now. So what was I? 37 then, or depending on the time. Yeah, I think it was 37 then. Um, it's funny because like you said,
Hmm.
because that's one thing I really like, and I've been finding, especially on Zoom, because in live there hasn't been as much diversity in the humans that I've seen do comedy. Like most of the people that I see do comedy, at least in some of the areas I went to, look a lot like me. A lot are younger. Um, but on
Hmm.
Zoom, like there's comedians that are like 18 or 20 that are incredible. And then there's ones that are, 4 times that age and are incredible. And, in every variation. And I'm just like seeing these guys and gals who are like, 20 or whatever, just crush. I'm like, dude, by the time you're my age, you stick with this, like you're going to be just insane. Like there's
Yeah,
so many
you're
talented
gonna be
people.
a beast.
Like you
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Oh my god, I know, man. It's awesome. Yeah, yeah, because the like yeah, everyone's on there. You got um
Yeah.
people with disabilities. You know what? I think I don't know, man. I might be the only blind guy on there, bro. Like unless you
Well, you're
find
not going to
another
see him
one on
anyway,
there,
but
but I don't know what that means. But yeah, wow, blind jokes from Niko Lukoff. Shots fired. No, but you have like Pam.
yep,
She runs a mic on the weekend. I don't know how long she's been doing it, but
yep,
she has cerebral palsy. Um,
yep.
y- Desiree Walsh from Canada. I mean, I've seen like I think I was on a mic where it was a lady that
That's
she
so
was like
awesome.
79 years old, and she was
I've
actually
been on some
funny.
shows like
Like
that
I
with
was like,
some folks that are in that age range that I'm that it's neat to see. And it's fun to make them laugh. Like that's been one of the treats too, is like making people laugh that I wouldn't have gotten the chance to try to. Um, it's fun
yeah,
doing them with like people who are like legit comics too, that like worked for money, like did comedy for money, like really, people who travel, like were really
hmm,
in it,
yeah,
and getting to hear their stuff and make them laugh. Not saying that that's what you need to have to like be funny. It's just like it's cool. You just see so many, such a
right,
range um of history of tenure, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure the terms just escaping me,
yeah,
or an
yeah,
experience and scenes. But yeah, mentioning the folks that can't physically get places, a lot of women who didn't, who wasn't safe for them to do stuff, like who say like I'm not. I feel weird saying that like I'm some dude putting something word in someone's mouth, but no, like women who've been like, hey, I do this way more than I
yeah,
went out live because this is just a safer. I can just do it, and not worry about some weird ass
Right.
creeps. Or if I
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
can get rid of them a lot easier.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Very convenient.
so especially
To say the
so
least.
I
Yeah.
think there's gonna be that. I think especially people who physically just weren't able to get to them, and people who were in areas that couldn't get to them. Like got a buddy who I was like, man, dude, you're so funny. Like I
Yeah.
just did open mic the first time. Like you should go do this because like you're really funny and he's like, I just he's several hours from anywhere that would do it. I'm like, if you just hop on Zoom now,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
could tell jokes anywhere.
That way. Yeah. 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 You could do it that way. Yeah. Very convenient to say the least. Yeah, man. Shoot, man. We'll
Cool.
probably wrap it up in a few minutes here. But Nico, I know you're a fan of Cobra Kai, bro. Like just like me. So,
Oh,
have you seen season
I have
3?
not. I'm like a few minutes into the first episode of it. Um, maybe we might have
Oh
to do another
man. Okay.
podcast
Okay.
after I do. Because
Um.
have you? What I guess you watched them all then? Oh,
Right.
the whole first season.
Yeah. Yeah. I finally
All
I
right.
finished season 3 this past weekend. But man, it's dope, man. I can't wait to see the whole thing. But I think they're working on season 4. But
It's so
no,
weird and
overall it's
goofy and
good. It's
fun.
good.
Like it's so, but
Man.
it's just I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
I'll do mics and I'll do different stuff, and then I'll just like fall asleep watching the first little bit of a show. Like I'm still trying to finish watching the most recent season of Fargo. You ever watch that? Uh, it's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Oh no, no,
So
haven't checked
yeah,
that out yet.
there's a couple of shows like that I'm like, I need to actually make sure I'm awake when I'm watching them. But no, I enjoy it.
Yeah. No, it's fun. But yeah, definitely. We'll try to get into that next time. Um, before we wrap it up, I asked these 3
Okay.
questions to all my guests. These are 3 questions that I'm like fascinated about and
Okay.
just curious what other people have to say. Now, it's up to you too. Like no pressure. You can answer all 3. You can answer one, or you say, you know what, Elvin, f you. I'm not gonna answer it. Fuck that. I gotta eat dinner right now. Uh, but we'll run through it. I'll say all 3 of the questions. First question is aliens or Bigfoot? Number 1. Second question: if you weren't doing comedy, what else would you be doing? And 3: what is your go-to food?
Oh, so I aliens. I mean, we say aliens. It's not like which one's better or whatever. Like but
No, no, not
there's
which one's
definitely
better.
aliens.
Just
Like
like
aliens
if
are a thing.
whatever. If
Bigfoot, I
you.
do not think is a thing. I hate to break it to anybody there. If
Hmm.
we're just looking
Okay.
at it like that, uh,
It's like,
I have no evidence of either of these
all right, cool,
things, but
awesome.
from my viewing perspective, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. If I
Yeah.
was not doing comedy, so I was thinking about this a while back because I'm like, I didn't always obsess about this. There was other things I did. I think I just cooked
Hmm.
more. Like I was
Yeah.
really into different like sous vide and curing meats and smoking and grilling, like just different kind of nerdy sciencey ways to
Hmm.
make food in different ways, and I kind of just get into stuff, throw myself into it, and then
Yeah.
end up doing something different eventually. But I still do still do some of each of those things. I would probably just be even fatter. That's
Yeah.
probably
Cool.
what I would be doing, is I'd be expanding horizontally more rapidly. That's what I would be doing.
Expanding. There you
And
go. I
what
like
was your
that.
last question?
I like that.
Oh shit.
Go-to food, because we're in this pandemic. If you had to survive on something for a month or two,
Oh
what
man,
is your go-to food?
I like so much. I love pizza. Love pizza. I mean, like, I'll cook a lot of other
Boom.
stuff,
There
but
it
I'm
is.
like, if I'm just like, I want to eat some food right now, and I don't care about what it does to my body,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find some pizza.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I've made like,
There
I
you
don't
go.
remember how many
Pizza
like
it
sheet
is.
pan pizzas, like enormous pizzas that are like focaccia basically
Mm-hmm.
with stacks of
Yeah.
toppings. I made way too many of these during this COVID time.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome, man. Well, Nico, man, thank you for being on the podcast. It's
Thanks for
been a
having me, man. I
pleasure.
appreciate you reaching
It was
out.
a
I
lot of
appreciate
fun
you doing
having you
this.
on and
It
stuff.
helped keeping things moving. I love seeing people doing whatever they're doing. People are doing mics or putting on shows. And shout out to everybody doing something. People are producing things and making a place. I'm directing traffic. It's important,
Yeah,
but someone else would have done this if I didn't, and it probably would have been better. But
yeah,
people making a place, whether it's just throwing up a Zoom on random to get people in, getting people on podcasts, whatever it happens to be. I love it, and I just appreciate it very much.
yeah. It's all about making connections. Yeah, hell yeah. So where can they find you
So on
on the
Instagram,
social
I'm at
medias?
Laugh Your Lukoff, and on laughyourlukoff.com, that goes to my link tree that's got shows too. So that's where I post where I'm going to be at. And this weekend, I'm doing a show with Headspace and Timing. That's James Mack, comedian who's hilarious. Who does
Mm-hmm.
that, and then Colorado Comedy Shows puts on a Sunday night show that I'm headlining on Zoom as well on Sunday, which I've done a few of their shows. They're really fun reactive crowds. Oh, Thursday night also
There
I
you go. There
host
you
on
go.
Zoom open mic, at least like as of right now on Flappers is Thursday nights. I hope to keep doing Thursday nights and other potentially it
Flappers.
could go different nights,
Yeah,
but that's what I'm doing right now.
yeah. There you go. See what I'm saying, y'all? He's everywhere. He's the
This
hardest
is
working
not
Zoom
true, but I
comedian on
appreciate it. Oh
earth.
shit. Okay.
He's
Also,
everywhere. So
on Friday nights, Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. He's a comedian that does a talk show, interviews comedians. And then he has me do a few minute like Zoom comedy kind of update deal Friday evenings as well. All that stuff's I'll post on Instagram anyway. Okay,
yeah,
I'll stop
there you
now.
go.
Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy.
He's just rubbing in the salt of the wound. No, but good stuff, man. Good to see you just doing all kinds of stuff, man. Um, so yeah, where's my damn podcast, y'all? Be sure to share it. Like I said, just like it. Whatever you do, all you internet people, just check it out. This will be up there on YouTube and all the various streaming platforms. So yeah, hell yeah. So
Thank you,
Nico,
buddy.
thank you once again,
I
and
will see you soon, Elvin.
yeah,
I
we'll
appreciate
see
it
you
before you see
soon,
me.
brother.
All right, man. See you.
Yeah, I know. Punchline. Boom. Good night.